Have you ever made a promise you instantly regretted? A promise so big, so costly, that it changed your life forever? Today, we read diving into one of the Bible's most tragic and debated stories, the story of Jephthah and his vow. It's a powerful tale found in the book of Judges, and it raises some really tough questions about faith, promises, and sacrifice. So, who was Jephthah? He wasn't your typical hero. The Bible tells us he was the son of Gilead, but his mother was a prostitute. Because of this, his half-brothers drove him away, telling him he had no share in their father's inheritance. Jephthah fled and became the leader of a group of outcasts, essentially a mighty warrior leading a band of misfits. He was strong, capable, but an outsider, rejected by his own family. But then, trouble came knocking. The Ammonites, a neighboring enemy, declared war on Israel. The elders of Gilead, the very people who had cast Jephthah out, were in a panic. They had no one to lead them in battle. So they went to Jephthah and begged him to be their commander. Talk about a dramatic reversal. Jephthah, understandably, was skeptical. He said, "Didn't you hate me and drive me from my father's house? Why are you coming to me now when you're in trouble?" The elders were desperate. They promised him that if he led them to victory, he wouldn't just be their commander. He would be their head, their ruler over all of Gilead. Jephthah agreed, but he made sure this agreement was made before the Lord, sealing the deal. So Jephthah prepared for war. But before he went into battle, he did something that would seal his fate. Filled with the Spirit of the Lord, he made a vow. He said to God, "If you give the Ammonites into my hands, whatever comes out of the door of my house to meet me when I return in triumph will be the Lord's, and I will sacrifice it as a burnt offering." Think about that for a moment. It's a rash, extreme promise. Maybe he was expecting an animal, like a goat or a lamb, to greet him first. But a vow is a vow, especially one made to God. With this promise hanging in the air, Jephthah led the Israelites into battle, and they won. It was a huge, decisive victory. The Ammonites were subdued, and Israel was safe. Jephthah returned home a hero, the triumphant victor, ready to celebrate. But as he approached his house, the first person to come out the door to greet him, with tambourines and dancing, was his daughter, his only child. His only child. The Bible says, when he saw her, he tore his clothes and cried, "Oh no, my daughter, you have brought me down, and I am devastated. I have made a vow to the Lord that I cannot break. The tragedy is almost unbearable." His joy turned to ashes in an instant. His daughter, seeing his anguish, responded with incredible strength and faith. She told him, "My father, you have given your word to the Lord. Do to me just as you promised. Now that the Lord has avenged you of your enemies, the Ammonites." Her only request was for 2 months to go to the mountains, with her friends to mourn the fact that she would never marry or have children. Jephthah granted her request. After 2 months, she returned, and the Bible states that he did to her as he had vowed. This story has haunted readers for centuries. Did he actually sacrifice her as a burnt offering? Scholars are divided. Some believe he did, interpreting the text literally as a human sacrifice, a horrific act that went against God's law. Others argue that burnt offering could be a metaphor, and that he instead dedicated her to a life of perpetual virginity in service at the tabernacle, which in that culture was a kind of living death, ending his family line. Either way, the cost was immense. Jephthah's victory came at the price of his own daughter, his future, his legacy. It's a sobering reminder of the weight of our words and the danger of making rash promises, even with good intentions. It forces us to confront difficult questions about the nature of sacrifice and obedience. What do you think happened? Was Jephthah a man of faith or a tragic fool? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If this story made you think, please give this video a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the Bible's most compelling stories. See you next time.